Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I have a lot of information today, but like I did yesterday, I don't know where I read it, but someone had said something on Twitter about how they like watching the YouTube videos, but only if it's about 10 minutes or less. And so I'm trying to respect that when I do my videos from now on, and I'm going to try to break my videos so that they don't go over about 10 minutes. And I think that allows people to watch videos like when they're on their way to work or whatever, and that type of thing. And so I'm going to try to be very wary of that and watch my time. So I've got a lot of tabs up here, things I was going to talk about, but if it gets cut short, if I run and it starts getting too long, I'm going to just cut it off. Okay, first I got this from XRP Wave Rider, and this is an AMB crypto article. If I can get it to come up. There it is. There we go. Bank of America concerned about cryptocurrency transactions, secures a patent for risk assessment. Now, I read through this, and it's a little foggy to me on what exactly they're talking about. I'm going to give you my take on it. Let me show you this first part, though. Okay. Bank of America, the second largest bank in the United States based on assets held, signaled they're concerned for they're concerned about the cryptocurrency community. The North Carolina headquartered bank secured a patent for cryptocurrency risk detection system. According to an April 30th filing, it says the patent granted B of A is primed on a risk detection system specifically geared towards virtual currencies. On the basis of the system, a risk score will be levied on cryptocurrency transactions between a customer and a third party. And then it says in their statement, it says, as technology advances, financial transactions involving cryptocurrencies have become more common. For some enterprises, it may be desirable to calculate the risk for performing a cryptocurrency transaction. Well, when I read this, here's what I'm reading. I'm reading a middleman who is trying to remain the middleman and trying to continue to control the situation. The way I think this all unfolds, I believe all of these banks think that they're going to come in and they're going to do the same thing they've always done and become the middleman in cryptocurrencies. And I think they're going to find out really quickly that they are not the same bank that they have thought of themselves as in the traditional sense. I believe the banks are going to be forced to almost to be an app instead of a brick and mortar bank. But I believe that they don't even comprehend yet how they're going to be taken out of this equation by being able to stick their hand in and take all the money that they've been taking to make transactions happen. Okay, now let me see if I can get this thing moving along. I've got a lot of tabs, and so my computer is trying to slow up on me. So let's see what we can do here. Oh no, I got it not responding. Let's see if we can fix that. All right. If you hear a chainsaw in the background, it's because someone is using a chainsaw. If I can get these websites to get going, hold on a second, I've got this one. All right, here's the one I was going to show you. This is XRP Big Time, ADX Big Time. U.S. CFTC chair says interest in crypto could bring about more clearinghouses. You think? Well, what I want to make sure we go over this because I think this is important. This is an article from Cointelegraph. The future of money. U.S. CFTC chair says interest in crypto could bring about more clearinghouses. And remember, this is the same CFTC that BACT is waiting on the approval from. It says the CFTC chairman, Christopher Giancarlo, said the explosion in interest in cryptocurrencies will likely lead to new applications for clearinghouses. Well, there's an explosion in interest. I haven't heard any of these government officials talk about how there's an explosion in interest. I've seen a lot of articles about how crypto is so scary and all this, and I'll show you one in a second. Because when I read this, that the CFTC, who is the number one government organization who stands in the way of a lot of the approvals for a lot of these exchanges like BACT and these big exchanges that are going to really light this market up. If you want to hear that there's an explosion in interest in cryptocurrencies, this would be the place. These would be the government officials that would know, because they're the ones that have to deal with the applications to open these things. It says the commission anticipates new applications for clearinghouse registration resulting from the explosion of interest in cryptocurrencies, in an area in which the protection of the cryptocurrencies will be one of the highest risks. And so this reminded me, I was reading this and I was like, this doesn't sync up at all with what we've been told. Does anyone remember this article? Because I sure do. Does anybody remember this article from Bloomberg back? This is on December 23rd of 2018, while they were trying to kick us while we were down. Bloomberg, one of the most anti-crypto news organizations in traditional finance, put this article out. Wall Street quietly shelves its Bitcoin dreams. So all these guys are shelving their Bitcoin dreams. Meanwhile, the CFT says there's an explosion in interest. So these guys were putting out articles like this for months and months during that time. Meanwhile, I was also reading articles that were saying that Wall Street, Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley and all of these different big Wall Street firms, their plan all along has been to do their trading through BACT. That's what I've been reading all along. And then we're seeing these kinds of articles. Shameful, shameful, shameful. All right, then I got this from @X Lighting the Way. Uphold's transparency page is the first of its kind in the cryptocurrency space. Now, for those of you that don't know about Uphold, Uphold is a major friend to the XRP community. You should go and buy XRP on Uphold. It's uphold.com. Uphold is a great company, and they've been really good and friendly to the XRP community, and they're continuing to be. But I wanted to show you this about how transparent they're being now. That's what they're talking about here. This is an article from today's Gazette. XRP ahead of Bitcoin becomes most used crypto in California. Over 3 million transferred to 4 destinations. XRP is gaining full reception all over the world. In California, it's now the most used digital asset. But what they're talking about is in this is that the vital pieces of information came from the newly unveiled Uphold's transparency portal, one of the largest digital payment platform offering secure and instant financial services with over 30 currencies in more than 184 countries. Their transparency page is the first of its kind. While calling for others to emulate what could be seen as an industry standard, observers have said the newly unveiled page shows the platform is transparent enough and setting a new standard of consumer protection and financial services accountability. This is one of the pages. This is something they tweeted out from their page. This shows California XRP, top destinations for XRP, Colorado, Brazil, Venezuela, Florida, top origins, Singapore, and it shows all kinds of interesting things. I'm going to go and show you the page itself now. This is, let me see. This is their transparency page. Now look at this, folks. This is cool. If you scroll down, total transparency by design, and then it takes you down. It says transaction volume, number of transactions, obligations, assets in our reserve. Then it talks about tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Our reserves, tier 1. These are their reserves. It shows what their reserves are. Tier 2, currencies available to hold exchange or send to anyone around the world. And it's got all of these, like the Swiss franc, I guess you'd say, cryptocurrencies and utility tokens available to send and receive for free. And here's the XRP, shows you their obligations, assets, transaction volume, number of transactions. Tier 4, series of tokens and stablecoins issued by Universal Protocol as part of a new Universal Transparent Reserve Standard, which features innovative safeguards like recoverable and inheritable. This is cool right here, folks, but this is where all of this is going to go. This is where all this is going. So I just wanted to show this to you. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family to go check out Uphold's transparency page. It's really cool. And you can go to uphold.com and then there's a transparency tab up at the top, I believe. Thank you for listening.